Run, run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man!
You're a monster!
I'm not the monster here, you are! You and the rest of that fairy tale trash poisoning my perfect world. Now tell me, where are the others?
Eat me!
I've tried to be fair to you creatures. Now my patience has reached its end. Tell me, or I'll...
No, not the buttons! Not my gumdrop buttons!
All right then, who's hiding them?
Okay, I'll tell you. Do you know the Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man!
Yes, I know the Muffin Man. Who lives on Drury Lane?
Well, she's married to the Muffin Man.
The Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man!
She's married to the Muffin Man. My lord! We found it. Well, then what are you waiting for? Bring it in!
Plague, medieval taxes, religious persecution, prostitution. These are not exactly the topics that you expect to be immersed in as a new parent. But probably right at this moment, mothers of small children around the world are mindlessly singing along to seemingly innocuous nursery rhymes that, if you dig a little deeper, reveal shockingly sinister backstories. Babies falling from trees? Heads being chopped off in central London? Animals being cooked alive? Since when were these topics deemed appropriate to peddle to toddlers? BBC, June 10, 2015. Nearly every mother has sung nursery rhymes to her little one since time immemorial, be it during playtime or as a lullaby. But did you know that some of the most well-known rhymes are anything but innocent? You probably would never equate Mother Goose with the likes of horror writers Stephen King, H.P. Lovecraft, or Mary Shelley, but after this, you might be willing to rethink your position. Here are some of the best-known nursery rhymes and their most plausible less than child-friendly origins.
Fresh muffins hot out of the oven. Oh, do you know the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man? Do you know the Muffin Man who lives on Drury Lane?
Do you know the Muffin Man? The Muffin Man, the Muffin Man. Do you know the Muffin Man that lives on Drury Lane? Yes, I know the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man. Yes, I know the Muffin Man who lives on Drury Lane.
know the Muffin Man? He was a serial killer who preyed on kids. And the catchy song was meant to warn children to stay away. There are many versions of this horrifying story. The Muffin Man, also known as the Drury Lane Dicer, was the first known serial killer in England. His name was Frederick Thomas Linwood, and he was born in 1563 and died in 1612. There are many accounts of Linwood's crimes, however, no surviving records. This is either one hell of a folklore story or one of history's most creepy mysteries. In Renaissance England, it was common for families to have fresh foods delivered to their homes. If you're in the US, imagine the milkman from the 1950s, same deal. Every morning, Renaissance families could expect to find a parcel of bread for that day's meals. A popular morning meal was muffins, but these were more like English muffin bread and less like sugary sweet American muffins. The Muffin Man would make his deliveries just like other bakers, but he would lure children away from their homes by playfully tying a string at a muffin and pulling it away from the steps where the parcel lay. The kids, likely thinking this was a fun game, would chase the muffins, which led to the Muffin Man's bakery, where he would kill the children. But not before torturing them. The Muffin Man did not appreciate the fierce competition in his surrounding neighborhoods. So he murdered 7 other bakers, or so the tales go. The life of a baker in Renaissance England was not lucrative or pleasant. For starters, everyone wanted bread delivered. The middle class could afford to have fresh foods delivered to their homes, and during various times of the year, bread deliveries would skyrocket. The bakers did all of the work themselves, which meant that their daily shift would begin around 10 or 11 at night, leaving the only time for sleep during the moments when the dough was rising. Working under such strenuous circumstances commonly meant that the quality of bread was a crapshoot. For example, some bakers had to double time to keep up with their orders and knead the dough with their feet. The Muffin Man seemed to have taken pleasure in taunting and torturing children before he killed them. According to lore, he used wooden spoons to knock children out. However, experts have long cast doubt that a wooden spoon would be enough to render a person unconscious. Still, the stories persist. Between the years 1589 and 1598, Linwood murdered 15 children. His shop was a popular spot for kids to visit, where they would run and cause havoc. What unsupervised kid wouldn't run around a bakery? Supposedly, Linwood wanted them to stay away from his shop, so he devised a vicious plan. He lured children intentionally to his shop by pulling a muffin on a string. Once inside, he would knock them out and then kill them. Children came up with a catchy sing-song rhyme to sing that supposedly was a way to warn other children to stay away from Linwood's bakery and to be wary of those around them. It goes like this. Do you know the Muffin Man? The Muffin Man, the Muffin Man. Do you know the Muffin Man? Who lives in Drury Lane? No one knows if this story is true. It has been told, and retold, so many times that the story's true origins are forever lost. This innocent-sounding rhyme about a sheep and its wool comes with a set of actions that toddlers and preschoolers can easily imitate. But the rhyme actually came about because of the Great Custom, when King Edward I imposed a heavy tax on wool in 1275. Apparently, the harsh tax resulted in 1/3 of the wool being given to the king, or the master, another third for the church, or the dame, and the remaining third for the farmers. An older version of the rhyme actually doesn't attribute a third part to the boy, as the lyrics goes, and none for the little boy who cries down the lane, a possible reference to the poverty of farmers during that time. Some people also wonder if its choice of the color black has any racial undertones, although of course, it's quite possible that it was only because of the B sound that the rhyme used the word black instead of white. Who knows?
Falling down, falling down, falling down, from the bridges falling down, my fairy
Several theories abound on the origin of this popular nursery rhyme, used widely in a children's game where we sing the tune while going under the arch formed by two friends, with the arch falling down when the song ends. The most commonly accepted one is perhaps the supposed attack of Olaf II of Norway, which destroyed London Bridge in the early 1000s. However, historians cannot agree as to whether this was a true event or not. Another theory is that it's related to the superstition that human sacrifice has to be made in order to keep the bridge upright. Legend has it that when the original London Bridge was taken down in 1831, they found bodies inside its moorings, possibly linked to a form of medieval punishment where a person is locked in a room and left there to die, and possibly serving as the said human sacrifice.
Mary, Mary, quite contrary, how does your garden grow? With silver bells and cockle shells and pretty maids all in a row. Mary, Mary, quite contrary, how does your garden grow? With silver bells and cockle shells and pretty maids all in a row, 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 and pretty maids all in a row.
Mary, Mary, quite contrary is in reference to Mary I, the daughter of Henry VIII. She was responsible for hundreds of thousands of Protestants being executed. She wanted the Church of England to be Catholic. For her short reign from 1553 to 1558, she executed thousands of Protestants. The silver bells and cockle shells referenced are torture devices from her time, and the pretty maids all in a row, those are referring to hundreds of women burned at the stake for the crime of being Protestant.
Goosey, goosey, gander, wherever shall I wander? Upstairs and downstairs and in my lady's chamber. There I found an old man who wouldn't say his prayers, so I took him by his leg and threw him downstairs.
Goosey, goosey, gander, whither dost thou wander? Upstairs and downstairs, and in my lady's chamber. There I met an old man, who wouldn't say his prayers. I took him by the left leg, and threw him down the stairs. During the days of intense religious persecution, Catholic priests were not allowed to say Latin-based prayers, even in their own homes. This inspired the original version of this nursery rhyme, which includes a verse that describes a man who wouldn't say his prayers. So I took him by his left leg, and threw him down the stairs. Talk about cruel.
Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after.
Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. If you ever wondered why this nursery rhyme ends with Jack breaking his crown and Jill coming tumbling after him, it's probably because it has less than sunshiny origins in the first place. One theory is that it talks about the French Revolution, when Louis XVI of France and his wife Marie Antoinette were convicted of treason and consequently beheaded. The reference to Jack's losing his crown, and Jill tumbling after him. However, the rhyme is said to have been in existence at least 30 years before that event. An alternative origin story is that it's a parody on the reformation of tax laws on liquid measures during the reign of King Charles I. Parliament turned down his proposal, so King Charles I pushed to reduce the volume to half and quarter pints, which were then known as Jacks and Gills. Three blind mice, three blind mice. See how they run, see how they run. They all ran after the farmer's wife, who cut off their tails with a carving knife. Did you ever see such a thing in your life? As three blind mice? Although mice are about as innocent as it gets, this nursery rhyme may have gotten its origins in the conspiracy of three Protestant bishops, among many, who aimed to overthrow Queen Bloody Mary's tyranny. Archbishop of Canterbury Thomas Cranmer, Hugh Latimer, and Nicholas Radley were unsuccessful and burned at the stake for heresy. The reference to blindness may be an allusion to their firm adherence to their religious convictions.
Here we go round the mulberry bush, the mulberry bush, the mulberry bush. Here we go round the mulberry bush on a cold and frosty morning.
Here we go round the mulberry bush. The mulberry bush. The mulberry bush. Here we go round the mulberry bush. So early in the morning. What preschooler hasn't sung the rhyme? Here we go round the mulberry bush. But the origins of this nursery rhyme probably aren't something you would want your 6-year-old to learn about. It's believed to have originated in Wakefield Prison in England, whose female prisoners were made to exercise around a mulberry tree. Ring around the rosie. A pocketful of posies. Ashes, ashes. We all fall down. Again, what child hasn't locked hands with their playmates, sung this nursery rhyme, and flopped onto their bottom, giggling and laughing at ashes, ashes, we all fall down? But it's widely believed this rhyme is related to the time when thousands died during the Great Plague of London in 1665. An estimated 15% of England's population died in the plague, which caused a rosy rash, and they used a pocketful of posies to cover the awful smell from the rash. No wonder there's a reference to ashes, ashes at the end. However, other historians believe this to be erroneous, and instead attribute the rhyme to the 19th century religious ban placed on dancing among many Protestants. To get around the ban, adolescents invented the play party, where they would have ring games instead of square dancing. Somehow, the first theory seems to have more similarity to the lyrics, though, wouldn't you say? Eerie fun fact. During the COVID-19 pandemic lockdown, the song was used as a way to ensure one has washed their hands long enough, about 15 seconds.
London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady. London Bridge is falling down. London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady.